Everybody, get we in this video try to build web servers that read data from SQL Server database. So we have a database that available on SQL Server, and we have a web service that we will build it using C#. So how we could get data as a JSON, that's what we'll discuss in this video. So first of all, let me open SQL Server on localhost and create connection. Then I try to create very basic database. I will say a new database. I just create very simple database. Then I will name it users. I will follow the standard users in this way. So here is it. Now in users I will create table, new table, and I will add some information. I will have ID, should be integer, and this one should be primary key, and make sure some other properties I have to setting up with web service. So here you go, I just give it true and auto increment. This is for any field in SQL Server, just give it auto increment, so like you're doing auto increment. So what I have in login, I will have username as varchar 15 like, and I have password also varchar 15. Okay, also varchar 15, and I will save this table. Click right, save it. I will name it login. So now I have a database. I want to insert data in this new table. So I want to add data inside this table. So to get started, I will open Visual Studio. So make sure you have Visual Studio and SQL Server on your computer. Create a new project. From new project, go to web and web application, and let me name it Android web service. Okay, save it any place you want, then click OK. He will ask you about this part. Select empty field, then click OK. Yes, it will give you this message. Just let it create it. That's great. I have this project and everything is good. Now I want to create a new web service. So just I click right on the project and select add, then look for web service. Here is it, web service ASMX. Let me name it web service 1. I will not care about other information. So I'm waiting for some time until he will create this web service for us. Just for spacing, I will just minimize this one. So first of all, I need just to enable this part because I need to return data as JSON. So first of all, I need to define web service. This is have single web service. So if I run it, I will see already have one web service. This web service return string, name it hello world. So if you run it, you will see hello world. Now let we start build a simple web service. Let me just delete everything and I try to implement a web service. I already have web service in my Android tutorial. So if you go to Android tutorial, make sure you go to branch and select web service, and web service you will see part here for web service. Click on it, then click on C# SQL. Go down and select from line number 56 to the end. Copy this code and write them here. This is not too much work, just to work with JSON. Now I want to get the result as a JSON. So first of all, I need to enable this part. Make sure this part is enabled. Second, I just define web method. Then I say, okay, this is secret method. This method will return data as a JSON, and it will accept HTTP GET. We will talk next what HTTP GET means. So okay, just I click add to add this line. So I define this my method should return data as JSON. Then I define public void. I define it login. This login will take two parameters, username and password. I need data to be returned as a JSON, so I will define JavaScript serialization. I will name it SER, a new JavaScript serialization. What I want to return? I want to return a message. So to do that, first I will try to use normal SQL connection. You do it in C#. We just use any code C# you would write here. That's okay. So I say okay, create a new SQL connection with the connection string of the database. So from where I bring this connection string, it's really easy. Just you could go tools. From tools you click connect database. Then from connect database you write the connection string you have it for SQL Server. If you see, I click here. This is my connection string. It's localhost. So make sure go here and add a localhost. Click down. You will see the database users. Click advanced. This is the connection string. Just copy it and add it instead of this connection string. It depends on your computer, maybe different. Second, I want to add data inside database. So I will say, okay, I want to do a command. The command for me to be insert into login. I will insert username and password, and the value will be username and password. Then I will give value for these two parameters. But before I will give this value, I will define that. What's this type of the instruction? It is text? Yes. So I will say command type is text. I'm doing text. Then I define my connection. Okay, I have the command. The type is text. It will be executed on this connection. Then I'm still missing the value for this two parameter. I will add for username value that's coming from input and for password value. Then yes, I'm ready now to execute my query in C#. First I open the connection. I will execute my query. Then I click close the connection. If I success, I will add inside message data is added. If I fail, I will add inside message cannot access to the data or cannot add the data. By the end, I want to return JSON data, but this result, as you see it, is just normal data. So how I would return it is variable. So I will define variable JSON data new. I would just send this key equal this value. You could define more, like for example, age equal 27. Whatever you want, key add. I just had one only, so I will send one. Now I have this data as an object. I want to send it to the back as a JSON. Just I will say HTTP context security response write serialization for serialize for this data. That's mean the benefit of this line is just changing any object to the JSON data. Imagine you have array of class have a name, age, ID, and you have array of that data. If you send that array of data to this JSON, it will change it to the JSON object directly, and this is the benefit from our work. So if I go back here, click web service, click view in the browser. Here we go. This is the login. Now I want to login. Click here, enter Jenna. Should be register, not login, but okay, that's okay. This will be the password. Invoke. He say, and see here, return JSON for us. He say data is added. If I go back to my database, I have to see data is added. See, this is Jenna, this is the password. But I don't want to send data in this way. I want to send data through URL, send username and password. That is totally okay. Just go to your file and copy this line from number 4 to number 8. Then go back and to config and look for any, you have system web, and system web add this line before the end. Add this line. This line will help you to do direct access to the variable. See, this is the benefit of use HTTP get, that someone could do get directory. So yes, now if I run it, now I could send data directory through URL. So wait for some time. If you see, this is my login method. So if I want to execute something on login method, I will just do bracket login. Then I would say, okay, I would have username. You could give it any name. Let me say Leia. And I will give it password in this way. Let me say, this is the password. Make sure you write the same thing. If you have here, what you have here? You have here username. Send it as a username. You have password, send it here as a password. Same thing you see it here. Here username, here is password. Them same here. If I run, he say something is missing. Yes, for sure, because I'm adding at here. I have to add and not at. Rerun it again. Here you go. Data is added. So now I added Leia and added this number. If I go to the database, I have to see Leia and this number. See Leia and this number. That is great. You understand how you could do this information. Now let me say I want to get this data back from database. Okay, if you go to your database, you will see this method. I also have this method from 13 to this line 51. Just copy it and go back to your database. Just a little bit, I just changed something in the file. So just let me just minimize this part. So make sure I'm the same method. I will add this line. So also, but now I will say this one, I will name it list, and this one will not take anything, just listing the data. So yes, so now I need connection string. The connection string, I already have it in this method. If you remember, this is my connection string. You don't have to do it in two parts. It's better to add it in one place. But now I'm just demo of my code. So what I mean, I'm saying it's better to have something like shared, not you add it in one place. So I have connection string. So yes, I will go down and I will copy it here also. So I have it in two places. Then I want to get all the data from table login. I will say, okay, what the query I have it. I will say select star from login. That means I'm getting all the data from login. If I just try to execute this query in the database, that's mean bring all the data from login. It have username, password, and many. So yes, here execute. I don't need to send any parameters. Now I have a reader. See, I have a reader here that's reading the data. So I will execute this reader, then I will have the data will be number of line every time I will get specific data. So now I want to read all these data and add them in specific array. So it's better to go outside of our method. This is our method scope, so I have better to go out and will define a specific class. I will name it user, and this user will have two properties. Public, let we say username should be string. Okay, username should be properties, so should be get set. Okay, and I also have something for the password. I don't know why this one, but yes, this is this one. Not I don't add semicolon then. So same thing for password. So you could do public constructor. It's better to do constructor. I really recommend it to initialize the data through the constructor, because for saving your data and having some encapsulation. So yes, I have username and password. So I say okay, for username this dot username, I call the username. And for the password, I say, okay, this dot password, I call this password. This dot password, I call this. Call this password, just making sure everything is good without any problem. That's great. I have this class. Now I could create instance from this class. What I want to do, I want to create instance from this class with number of rows. So I would say, okay, I would define here, I will say I have defined user, you call a new instance of users. Okay, but this one is not number, it should be array of users, so I should define array of user. So if you say it depends on the number of row that I have it here. Do I have count here item, getting a count, field count, size, I don't know, count I think, field count, maybe it would help, field count or number of item. Or let me suppose now I just have 2, let me just give it 2 now, because I don't think this one will give as number. Let me suppose just 2 I give it. So I say this one will be user. So for everyone, for number 0, I will create a new instance of users. Then I will give it some data. I will say okay, for number 0, what he do is there any error here? No, I don't think there is error. So I say for number 0 dot, I could give it, okay, sorry, I just have to give it information directory. So what I have to give it, username and password. I will say reader dot get string. I'm getting string, or get init. Is it get init? Get string. considering I will get 0, I will get field number 1, I could get it by its name. You could get it by, I know this one will be number 0, this one number 1, number 2. So I just want to take number 1 as a username, and also I would get number 2 as a password. This one. So I have 2 items, number 1 and number 2. I'm no longer needing this one. So by the end I have number of users. I want to return them back. So it's better to do this way. So if I have error, I will print the error. If I don't, by the end I will reading everything. I will say, okay, please print the users for me. Just taking user and convert them to the object. So if you see I have array of class of array, then I just, this should be for I, it's better, and I have to have I integer I equal 0, then I have to have I plus plus because I'm moving through the rows. So yes. So now I have a user, I print the user, then I have to, when I done, I have to do return, not reader, return. So yes, just I want to show you here how you could read data as class, like what I mean by what he missed here. He missed something. He said there is something error. What's the error here? If I just go to the error list, he say yes, you have one error. If I see, yes, very basic error, this error, it's just semicolon, maybe semicolon stop your work. Here we go, this is the list. If I click, I have to get list of that. I could click it here and get the list, or I click just directly from here, I will get the list. See, list of items, key value, see, username Hussein, password, this password is named Leia, password, this password. Also, as I told you, this one is not good to add number, so you could reader is working with fields, so you could do reader dot field number field command -1 because I don't need to give us a cool like one addition free place. Just run it and see. See, here's the list. If I click on it, listing this data. If you see array of object, this one, second one. So I have just array, and how I success to convert this array to specific type of object, and I could read it. And this is most important part. Thank you for watching. See you next.